Hey everyone, as most of you know, I do a lot of my own tattoos, or most of my tattoos actually, and so I started off originally doing stick and poke, but now I have a tattoo machine, and I'm not a professional, by the way, so don't take this as professional advice because I'm not a professional. But anyway, I'm going to show you all how I used to do stick and poke tattoos and sort of what I use for that. The kind of needles I used were sewing needles. You can buy disposable tattoo needles, which are probably a lot better, but I used to use sewing needles anyway. And so I've got some sewing needles, and the kind of ink is I used to use Indian ink, like that, but now I have tattoo ink. It's called King Kong Black, Kurosumi Colors. I really recommend this, so if you can fork out a bit more money, then I would buy this ink here. When I disinfected the needles, I put it in boiling hot water. Now this does not protect you from like hepatitis or anything like that, so I mean, I advise you to go to a professional, but people are going to do stick and pokes regardless, and this is probably the safest way that I know of for doing them. What I used to use was a chopstick, and what I did was I carved out the end. I don't know if you can see that, but I used to use this, and what I did was I used some cotton and you wrap it in the needle. I'm going to show you guys anyway. I'm actually going to do a demonstration of a stick and poke on myself. I got disposable paper towels, disinfectant and water. I'm going to be tattooing this little bear on my arm. I don't know, it has no meaning to me. A lot of mine don't have meaning, but I like them and that's meaningful enough. When it comes to aftercare, I use Bepanthen. Bepanthen is probably, I think you can get like tattoo creams, but Bepanthen is my top rated cream to use for all of my tattoos. This is my needle here, and what I did was you wrap the needle completely until right to the tip. So you wrap it right to the tip with cotton, and I'll just do that now. Once I've finished putting the cotton on the needle, I put it into my chopstick. That fits nicely. I put cotton on it for two reasons. The first reason is so that it sits in the chopstick nicely, and also when you are dipping it into the ink, the cotton actually holds the ink and puts it into the tattoo. So I'm going to put the stencil on now, and then we'll get started. Alright, the stencil is now on and I'm gonna get started. Just before I continue, when the needle is going to the skin, you know it's going in because you can feel it a little popping. You can feel a little popping as it goes into the skin, and it should pop back out. It shouldn't go any further than that, and you can feel it going in even if you're not the one receiving the tattoo. So if you're giving a tattoo, then you can feel it go in and pop back out. Okay, I'm finished for today because I'm super hungry. Alright, I've finished for today. It might need to be touched up. I'll know once it heals. Sometimes they do need to be touched up. But anyway, just a helpful tip is when you are tattooing and going into the skin to go in diagonally rather than straight down. Also, make sure to never use the same needle on someone else as yourself and vice versa. Always throw needles out, never ever reuse them. If it's scabs, do not pick it under any circumstances at all, ever. Alright, this can pull the ink out of your skin and your tattoo will look absolutely terrible. Whether you've done a stick and poke or you've got it done professionally, never ever pick the scab. This is a new addition to my arm. Just there it is. Thank you so much for watching, and I might do another video like this. If you have any questions, just ask me. I'll try and answer them as best as I can. But other than that, I think I've covered most of it. Yeah, okay. Bye.